Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and today I'm going to talk about types of people pleasing. And sometimes, people pleasing is pretty obvious, and other times it's maybe something that maybe you have thought about, maybe you haven't, because it can be a little bit more subtle than that. And of course, pleasing someone is not always a dysfunctional thing. It becomes dysfunctional when it's coming from a place of fear, when it comes from that place of fear of rejection. I'm scared that this person isn't going to like me. I'm scared of what this person's going to think of me. I'm scared I'm going to lose them as a friend, as a partner. I'm going to lose this relationship. So I need to do something in order to get them to see me in a certain way. So you're trying to sort of, yeah, project out a certain kind of image and change yourself in order to mold into what you think the other person likes or approves of. So the energy behind it is always shame and fear. And yeah, so there's some, I'll just kind of made a list here of some different ones. And if you have any other ideas, I'd definitely be happy to hear in the comments if there's ways you've noticed that you've been people pleasing. So an obvious one, helping, anytime you help someone, but you help them in order to please them rather than you're actually in a place that you can actually do that. It's also important to if you have the energy and the time to do it, that is also included. Giving someone advice, if you're trying to again, like trying to help them out, like let me help you out. You should do this and you should do that. And this can be people pleasing. Trying to fix or trying to save someone. Sorry, my eyes are a little dry here. Trying to fix or trying to save someone, hoping that you'll be the one that's going to help them to heal, help them to see the light or whatever. This is also people pleasing. Rehearsing conversations. This was something I hadn't seen before, but I noticed how many times I'd be, especially at work, when I'm like I'll be rehearsing something I want to tell the parents when they get home or whatever. This is also people pleasing because again, I'm trying to like project some sort of particular image or, it's not just authentic and spontaneous. Overextending yourself, like doing more than you're capable of in that moment. Overexerting yourself, similar thing, maybe more in a physical way. Trying to impress people, this is a big one, and it can come out in many different ways. Maybe you're just telling someone a story and you spin it a certain way so that you want to sound more impressive to them. I do this a lot at work too. Being overly accommodating, when your friend says, can you meet me at 9:30? And you're like, well, I actually can't meet you at 9:30, but then you're like, well, okay, maybe I can, maybe I can do that. So you're like, it kind of goes along with the next one that I'm going to say, and that's bending your boundaries, compromising too much. It all kind of fits in the same kind of category where you have a boundary and then you're like allowing it to wobble too much. It's okay to have some flexibility, but to you end up losing pieces of yourself because you're compromising. Like your friend wants to talk on the phone for 2 hours and maybe that's over what you want to do. Maybe you just want to do like 40 minutes or maybe an hour. And so that's, again, like you're bending your boundary, you're compromising in order to please the other person, in order to try and maintain that relationship. Protecting someone's feelings or caretaking their shame. This was one of our main jobs as children, as scapegoats of narcissists. It was just like trying to protect trying to like sort of safeguard your parents' feelings, make sure they're not upset, make sure they don't get angry, make sure they don't get uncomfortable with what you're doing, with your feelings, with what you're expressing. So everything becomes very, you start to limit who you are and what you express in order to keep that parent, keep them pleased, basically to appease them. Playing dumb is another one. I've done this before where I pretend not to know something in a conversation when someone says, they say it's something that they know, and or they maybe ask a question. I pretend not to know because I know they don't know. Yeah, this can be another way to like, yeah, you want to make the other person feel good or feel superior or whatever. So over listening, this is a big one. I think especially for us as empaths, and we were used to like just being talked at by our parents, and so we can carry that behavior out in our relationships where we're doing most of the listening, the other person's doing most of the talking, and again, it's kind of letting them dominate, in hopes that that they will like you. And yeah, I think I'm doing less of this now, but I know I still fall into that category. Pitying and feeling sorry for someone, that is also people pleasing, and it usually goes along with not having a boundary. It can often be like, I'm not setting a boundary because I feel sorry for you and I don't want to hurt your feelings and I don't want to make you feel bad. And so I'm putting their feelings above my own. Over apologizing, huge one, just saying sorry for everything and anything, the smallest of things that you don't even need to say sorry for. Sorry, I left the fridge door open, and sorry, I did this, and sorry, I did that. And yeah, it's just, ingrained because yeah, we were made to feel guilty, feel like we were doing something wrong all the time. Lying to protect your image. I have done this, or I've been definitely tempted to do this, where I want to, again, project an image, especially at work, that I'm a capable, competent nanny, and I don't want to say that I made a mistake or something. So I want to like twist it a little bit, twist the story so I seem like I know what I'm doing. And then sometimes I just think that's ridiculous, right? So I'm trying to change that and just be honest, and just like, if I make a mistake, that's okay. I don't need to, because again, narcissistic parents aren't okay with mistakes. So mistakes meant, you're going to be rejected. So it's overcoming these things that we learned from our parents. Worrying what others think of you. This is kind of sums up everything, just having that like, oh, what will she think of me if I do this? Or what will she think of me if I wear that? Or what will she think of me if I don't go to her party? Or whatever it is, worrying about, again, our self-image, and rather than just setting a boundary or speaking our mind and then letting it go. And if the person doesn't like us, or maybe they're disappointed, and we'll just have to sit with that rather than to so it's sitting with those feelings, those difficult feelings, rather than pleasing the other person. And the last one here I have is trying to mind read someone else to guess what they are feeling or needing. I notice myself doing a lot of this sometimes too, like trying to read someone's facial expressions, or oh, maybe they don't want me to say that, I should say this instead. And sometimes not, instead of just confronting someone and having a conversation, I'll be trying to mind read what they want and what they need. And this again is just the the habitual coping mechanism that we grew up with, and we did this to survive. So this is very difficult to break down, and it takes time, but it does, with a lot of effort and a lot of healing work, does start to kind of loosen up, and I hope you're finding that. And yeah, if you have any experiences you'd like to share, or anything on people pleasing in some of the things you've experienced, I would love to hear from you. So many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I'm Davina, Appleness Blooming.